Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. Today we got a 1K PKO from the recent 2025 Scoop event. We got pads on the final table with an Ace King. DMT with King 8 suited starts things off with an under the gun open. Got Centaurus, Pero Malo, Pronto, Anjay, Calvin, Check My Nuts, and Pairs Basili. With an Ace 6-0, probably going to let that one go. Got about 17k for the victory with bounties on top of it. Don't look at the payouts as it's a little bit of a spoiler. And thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays for the replay. There'll be a link in the description down below to the video and KalipokerTV. If you want to, you can go check out some action over there. No commentary in case you find the commentary shit. Calvin with Ace 5 suited will open it on up. Check My Nuts with a couple of 10s. Should yoink this in. Pad says Ace Queen. What do we do from the small facing the 3-bet all in? $1,600 bounty on the line. Calvin's open. I don't know if we should be too scared of it. Check My Nuts is in last place. They're all in. Pads has gotta think about going bounty hunting here. They are gonna jam in their 47 blinds. Playing only about 37 effective. Calvin's probably out of there. Bounty would be nice, but facing that 4-bet. Ace 5 suited, no good. Looking for an ace or queen. There we go, ace on the turn. Only 110 for Check My Nuts. They don't find it. Jack of clubs on the river. Big bounty for pads to start off the show. 62 blinds, Ace 5 suited. They'll be right back in there. And Centaurus in the big. The King 9-0 could defend. Pads opens to 2 blinds. DMT with the bullshit holding will get out of there. King 9-0 can just play call. Every once in a while you'll stick in a 3-bet. 10-5-5 flop, 3 of a kind for pads. Backdoor straight draw for Centaurus with 1 over cards. He's a very small bet and they're out of there swiftly. They do get an ace queen versus pads' ace jack. Basili will even open up ace 8-0. Pads plays call. Couple of queen 6s for the button and the big blind. Centaurus could go for a big 3-bet and they'll just take the pot down. They don't know that, of course. Oh, a big 3-bet is right. 41 blinds effective. Rips it all in. That's a 3rd place stack there. Basili's gone. Pads is surely out of there too. That's a huge jam. Not too much doing here. A little Jack 9 suited for DM. Kelvin. Ace 2 suited. 35 blinds. It is a bounty tournament, so it's a little more enticing to come in for some plays. Pronto in the big we cover. Pero we cover in the small. Calvin says I'll wait for a better spot, folds around to the Jack 9 suited. 35 blinds. We're not a big fan of Centaurus sitting there, but it does feel like a play. Jack 4 in the big blind is suited, comes along to the 8-2-2 flop. Backdoor straight for DMT. Backdoor flush, 2 overcards. Looks like a C-bet, 1 blind, and they take the pot down. Ooh, aces for Pero. Jack 7 suited for pads. A big stack could come in for the open. Pads does find it. Do aces ever slow play and call because pads is going to be a little wide here? Other than that, do we 4-bet or 3-bet to 4 blinds? Nah, Pero says we'll just rip it all in. 16 blinds to go, $1,500 bounty on the line, and pads folds quickly. Pads full is ace 7-0. Pronto with ace 8 on the button. Could just rip in there 13 blinds. That they do, and it should get through. King 6 for Calvin in the big. Pronto up to just under 16 blinds. King Queen for pads under the gun will open it on up. Queen 9 suited. Centaurus says no. This is too early of a position to play this holding. Ace Jack O for Calvin, however, from the small blind. Might think about a 3-bet bluff. 7.5 blinds is the size Calvin elects to go for. Now, a 4-bet bluff by pads would be cool, but they just let that one go. Nice little play by Calvin to get that through pre. DMT with ace 10-0. Probably going to come in for the open here. King Jack will fold for Pronto. Going to fold around to pads in the big with Jack 2 suited. Sees a 1k bounty on DMT's head. They're going to come along to the King 8-7 flop. 1 spade. Both players with backdoor flush draws. Backdoor straight draws. Ace high, however, might go for a little bet and take the pot down. Instead, we get a free 10 of hearts on the turn. Pat's looking for a 9. That's a non-heart. DMT with some showdown value and the heart draw. Queen of hearts on the river. Ace high flush. There's a few straight flushes out there. Pads even bets 3.5 blinds. Just jack high for him. Feels they may as well take a stab. Try to get what, like a 10 or queen to fold? 8 or 7 too, hopefully, of course. There's a king even here will call you. 3.5 blinds. DMT goes in the tank. Bumps it on up with that ace high flush. King for Centaurus. Not too much behind. No. 9-8 over Basili. They call the button somehow at 9-8-0. Ace Jack 6 flop. What the hell's going on here? Ace high board, not the best for Centaurus. No diamond in their hand. They check it on over Basili with backdoor straight draws and 9 high. What do we do, dude? We check it back. Jack on the turn. Board pairs. Still a flush draw and straight draws out there. 6.7 blinds in the middle. Basili's going to show down the 9 high. 3 up hearts. Centaurus goes for a little value bet. 1.7 blinds. Surely the bet just gets through. Tough to pull the trigger on a re-raise on the river here. Basili's not letting go of that 9 high yet, and they do. King Jack for Calvin. 7-4 suited for Anjay. 10.5 blinds. Gonna fold. Calvin will raise and probably just take it down. Whoa! King Jack. Oh, letting it go. Does Centaurus get a walk or does DMT limp it on in with the 6-2? No, it's out of there. Calvin says not going to play the King Jack. See a shorty situation. 10 blinds for Anjay, 15 for Pronto, Pero with 19. It's not going to be an easy player to get out of here. See, I kind of hope Anjay somehow suffers a little cooler or loses a flip or something. Pronto. They got a juicy bounty on their head. If they pick up good cards, they could find their way to a double up. However, we got a King 5 suited open. Ace 8 suited. 3 bets the button for DMT. Pero in the big blind with Ace Queen. Yoinks in there. 20 blinds. Should just get through pre. 4-bet from the big. All sorts of suicidal for pads to get in there. King 5 suited. Punting away 20 blinds. They fold. DMT we see with about 30%. They do find the call, looking for an 8. Yikes. Oh, but a queen on the turn. No more 8s. Oh boy. 43 blinds, but then they go up for paro. And we got a little break. Yeah, so just like that, Paro's back in the game. DMT is now in third last. After playing an active game. 3-bet call with the ace 8 suited. Unfortunate situation. The $1,500 bounty doesn't slide their way. King 9 suited for Pasili. They will open that up. That 8-9-0 call from the button was interesting. Centaurus raises from, I think, under the gun. Yikes. Jack 10 for Centaurus is going to get out of there. This open should just get through pronto with a 5 and a 2 in the big blind. Queen 2 for Paro in the small. Still coming back from break, it looks like. 80 seconds to kill. Oh boy. Just hit the fast forward, dummy. There we go. Ace Queen. Pasili will be right back in there. King Jack for pronto in the small. Probably not going to be a play. Anjay doesn't have a hand neither. Have 7 3/4 blinds as we move along. DMT with Queen 10. Gonna let that go. Poppity boo. Raise gets through pre. 10-10 for Centaurus. Jack for pronto. Looks to be good news for pronto. A couple of 4s for Paro. I don't know if we're gonna play those. We could come in for a call, I suppose. Get a Centaurus open. I think if I'm Paro, we cover the 3 players behind. We're actually not gonna love the situation if there's a jam. Nice fold by a Paro. Preserve the 2 blinds. Like, it's only 2 blinds and you got 37, but with that being said, they may matter later in the tournament. Would be nice to cover somebody for a bounty potentially. Jacks will rip it all in and we're looking for a jack. Nope. Pronto's jacks hold up. Lots going on there on the board, but the 10s don't get there. Jack 7 suited for Paro. I don't know if we're playing. We do cover 3 players behind. Pasili in the big. They got a fair stack. Willing to see a flop. Have an 8 and a 3. They're going to let that go. Kelvin with a pocket pair of 5s. Going to fold the small blind. Paro's raise will just get through. Holy shit. Bullshit holdings. Pads with 9-6-0 in the big. Pasili with 10-3 suited, covering them. Blind on, blind action. Hopefully Pasili bumps it up here. Nicely done. 3.3 blinds to go. Nice big sizing here. Pads wants to see a flop, not willing to hit the fold button. They do find it though. Queen 10 suited for Pasili. King Queen for Anjay. Ace 8 suited for Kelvin. If I'm Anjay, I jam. Swiftly, it's all in. Ace 8 suited. Such a small bounty in the tournament here. $375 on the line. We're going to get a call from Kelvin from the cutoff. Ace high is best. We're looking for kings and queens. Diamonds, potentially. All Jack 10-9. Some diamonds maybe. Jack doesn't help no more. No king or queen. Just like that, we are gonna lose a body. Anjay is out in 8th. Bum bum. King queen for pads. Does Vasily open Jack 9? Yes, they do. Covering 3 players behind. Pads plays call from the button. The blinds will get out of there. King 5-3 flop. Vasily just with a backdoor straight draw, but Jack high could always go for a bluff. Top pair for pads is going nowhere. Hopefully he gives Vasily a free card. Nicely done. 3 of clubs. Doesn't mean Vasily's gonna bluff, but there's always the potential for it. Not this time. Pads likely bets and takes the pot down. They bet large, 4.5. 2/3 ish. Doopity doo. Jack 5 for pads. That's not a 5. Jack 10 for pads. What the hell happened to my eyeballs there? I don't know, but I'm glad my brain caught it. And my ears did anywho. Jack 10 will raise and take it down pre. Jack 5. What the hell? Ace queen for Vasily. Ace 10 for Centaurus from the button. Kind of an interesting spot for Centaurus. It's a hand that doesn't mind seeing a flop. Could go for a 3-bet bluff. 31 blinds on the final table. Seeing a flop feels worse. 3-bet comes in. Centaurus makes it 6 blinds to go, and Vasily. Personally, I might call. 25 behind, 4 more into about 14.5. Queen 6-2 flop. Vasily's obviously going nowhere. Gonna need a little king jack action or a couple of tens dealer. An old backdoor wheel draw. No, Centaurus sees an ace on the turn. Top pair for the 3-bet, for the player 3-bet in position. Holy fuck, he stumbles over words sometimes. Vasily with top 2 is gonna lead out 6 blinds, sizing up the river jam. Centaurus knows they're fucked here, right? Whoa, wah. 7 on the river. I guess there's a diamond draw and a few straight draws like king jack and king 10, jack 10. 7 blind bet by Vasily. Aren't they just missing out on a 2K bounty? What's with the small bet, yo? Does Centaurus jam somehow for value? Hopefully they just fold and preserve 19 blinds. But I doubt it. They're gonna call 12 behind for Centaurus. There's a big pot for Vasily. 68 now. Very comfy first place position. I wonder if they get the bet through on the river if they jam. Personally, I would just go for the bounty every time. King queen for pads will open it up under the gun +1, 7-handed. Interesting little hand there by Vasily. Of course you bet on the turn. Of course. I like their sizing there. Just interesting sizing on the river. And I guess we'll never really know if Centaurus would call the jam, so I guess we just gotta say nice play by Vasily to get called by a kind of a weaker ace X there. There's still like potentially some like ace 5 suited maybe. Or like ace 4 suited maybe every once in a while. Anyways, I'm gonna move along. Ace 5 versus ace 5 blind on blind. Calvin limps it in. About 38 blinds in total. Vasily swiftly makes it 3 to go, and we get a quick call. Ace 4 2 flop. Nobody with a club, but there's 2 out there. Straight draw to the 3 for both players. That top pair is most relevant. Vasily will bet 1.4 blinds. Just under 7 blinds in the middle. Calvin will check raise to 5. Does somebody get blown off the pot somehow? Like Vasily calls. 7 on the turn, no club. Does Calvin continue to bet? What do we do, yo? Do we check? Out of position? No, we bet 4.22. That's not going to get the bet through. Does size up a river jam, however. And like if Calvin jams the river... Ace. Okay, never mind. I'm just wondering if it's a brick. Put like the 10 of hearts out there. Does Calvin find a value jam and Vasily fold somehow when the draw's brick? I don't think so. 3 of a kind here. Calvin will yoink it all in. Right? Or do we bet smaller? 25 blinds. Pot size jam leaves himself half a blind behind. And the bet gets through. 3 of a kind does fold. Calvin gets the job done. Vasily says there's no way my ace is good. Was just a chop pot. Nice play by Calvin and Vasily. If they ever watch this back, they're gonna be kicking themselves. Queen Jack. Calvin's right back in there with a newfound stack. 50 blinds for him. Gets 3 bet from the small. King Jack will take it down pretty for Vasily. Ace King for DMT in the big blind. Pronto will fold the suited Jack 7. Kelvin with 6-9 of diamonds is going to let that go. And pads with 6-8-0. What the fuck do we do? 17 blinds? Do we raise to like 2.5? 2.7 maybe? Pads limps it in. Nice. DMT will bump it up. Makes it 3 blinds to go. 2 more to call. Pads will be tempted. 1k bounty on the line. 14 behind. They call. King 9 3 flop. Backdoor straight draw for pads. They lead out 1.7 blinds. Interesting little play there. DMT with top pair, top kicker. Thinking, do I raise, do I call? Do I raise, do I call? 4.5 blinds to go. Very small raise. Very small stack behind. 9.5 blinds. Pads surely just folds. Blinds go up. Ace 10 for Vasily. 9-9 for Pronto. 3-3 for Centaurus is gonna get out of there. Vasily might find a 3 bet. Sees about an $1,800 bounty on the line. Then we get a call from Vasily. Queen 9 suited for pads. Again, every once in a while you see a 3 bet. Not here, not today. Blinds. I'll think about getting out of there. Centaurus is in a weird spot. 8 blinds behind. Excuse me. 1 more to call into a pot of 7.5. You'll have about 7 behind. Centaurus calls and we get a queen for 2 flop, all hearts. Centaurus the only player with a heart. 2k bounty on their head. Pronto's 9s are still best. 16 blinds behind. No heart in their holding, of course. They check it on over. Vasily, the big stack in the hand. Ace high will bet 1 1/4. If Centaurus folds, Pronto probably calls. Centaurus calls. Does Pronto fold? Such a small bet, but it's going to be tough to hang in there. Pronto does find the call. King of diamonds on the turn. So Centaurus looking for a heart. Vasily and Ace Jack are 10. Any other card? Oh, Centaurus also has a 3. Of course, to the set. Deuce of spades as the turn checks around. Pronto's 9s hold up. Not going to be easy to hang in there if anybody bets. 11 blinds. You don't expect ace 10 of spades to go for another bet here. Pasili might want those pennies though. Nope, nines are going to scoop them. Toronto will take a pot, bring him up to about 25.5. Aces for Pero in the big. We get a limp under the gun. Centaurus with 5.5 blinds. That 2K bounty is going to change the pace of the game until they're out of here. Centaurus comes along. Pero says nada, guys. We ain't going 3 ways to the flop here. Pero's gonna bump it up to 5. Pretty well put Centaurus all in. Pronto's not gonna love to see this, but they do find the call. Oh, and they find top pair, king 7, 3, 12 blinds in the middle, 20.5 behind. Pero with aces, not top pair, my apologies. Pronto with top pair. Get a very small bet, 2.5 blinds. Quick call, queen on the turn. 17 in the middle. Still a flush draw, straight draws. Ace jack, ace 10, jack 10. Diamond spades. Bet another 5 blinds. Very interesting spot for Pronto. They're going to get their equity in with 11.5%. They're going to need a king or jack, and they do not find it. $1,700 slides over to Pero, who is one of the shorties once before. However, now, first place position, 56 blinds, 6-9 suited. We'll see what Pero can do here. Queen 8 suited will come in for the open for DMT with that short stack to his left. King 5 for Centaurus. King 5. Oh, just gonna let that go. Kelvin with a jack and a 2. Jack 2 calls, flops quite well. Ace Queen 10 2 hearts. Kelvin with the flush draw, straight draw. DMT with middle pair. They bet 1.5 blinds. Does Kelvin raise? Get DMT off the pot on the flop here. They do jam. Lots of draws out there, but very difficult to call with the pair of queens, and DMT does let it go. Queen 8 suited. DMT says, not this time, yo. You're not going to get me twice, Poker Stars. 9-8 for Kelvin, playing about 44 blinds deep. 43. 9-8-0 limps it in. Pasili raises up 9-5 to 3 and 3.35. Kelvin tinks and finds the call. Ace jack 7 flop. Both players with backdoor spades. Kelvin with a straight draw to the 10. Pasili with a backdoor straight draw to the 9-10. It's kind of useless. Get a free king of diamonds on the turn. Interesting to see Pasili check back the flop after raising it up pre. Could have got the 9 high off the pot probably. However, Kelvin's got a little bit of equity to bet. Go for a 4 blind bet and 9 high. Swiftly hits the muck. Kelvin at 47 blinds in second place now. Big stack with an 8-4 suited will fold the cutoff. Ace 9 Kelvin will open the button. Looks like they'll get it through pre. 4-6 for pads in the big blind. Does have chips to play with. But I think with those short stacks, don't we want to tighten up? Yes, we do. King 9 for Centaurus could cause some fireworks here. 2K bounty on the line. They will rip it all in for 4. Get a quick call by the big stack. Queen 9 suited. Kelvin's out of there. Pasili will be in there somehow. They play call as well with A7-0. pads as well with a7-0 from the small blind. They're just gonna lay it down. DMT. What do we do? Do we call? Do we jam our 12 blinds? Gonna be tough to play post flop if we're being honest. Or we're gonna have plenty of equity, as we see they got 29%. The equity, slight underdog against ace-7. We just get a call. 8-8-6 flop. Ace high is best with about 55%. 3 in a row. Basili checks it. Get a 10 on the turn, so we got straight draws out the ass. So some of these are going to be no good, but DMT's looking for a 9, which would be clean. Pero, a jack would be clean. Centaurus, a 7 would be clean. Basili, a 9 would be dirty. Ace high. Still best. 4 on the river. Ace high holds up. Pads could have chopped up the bounty here. Good thing DMT didn't rip it in. They'll move along with 9.5 blinds. Unless Pero bluffs, does Basili fold? Don't think DMT rips it in here. Just got queen high. Just checks all the way down, and ace-7 does scoop the pot. 17 blinds, 2k bounty. Nice spot for Basili. Oh no, not this one though. 9-10 suited will open. If ace-jack 3 bets, they might save themselves. They do. 5.4 blinds. Pads with the ace-king from the button here. Raise under the gun 5-handed. 1 seat over. Basili 3 bets. Pads will 4 bet all in for 32.5. Almost 33 blinds and a $3,700 bounty. Calvin's thinking about it for a second, but they're going to find the fold. Basili, however, no, they just swiftly fold too. I was going to say I would surely be tempted there. With DMT on 9 blinds, it does make a lot of sense that the range is probably going to be a lot stronger. With the 4-bet bluff, or 4-bet all in. Holy fuck. So the 4-bet all in is going to be a lot stronger because we've got the short stack is what I'm trying to say. Ace-8 for Basili will open it up. Ace-8 for Pero in the small blind. 50 blinds for him. 5-handed. Does find the 3-bet, makes it 8 blinds to go. Love to see a call here. Make a lot of sense to fold, but I would love to see a call. 4-bet wouldn't be great if the fold comes in. Ace-10 for pads. Oh, open huge. 2.65. Basili in the big with jack 7. I don't know if we call. Might just want to let this one go. That they do. Ace-10 suited for Calvin. Queen-9 for Pero. Getting open to 2 blinds. 8-9 suited. Calvin calls to ace-10 suited from the bottom. 6-4 suited for pads will come along too. Still want to preserve chips, but we can flop straight draws and flush draws. Gotta come along to the 10-9-7 flop. 2 spades for Calvin to go along with top pair, top kicker. Pero with middle pair. Open ender to the jack or 6. We'll see a little bit of pennies go in here. Calvin bets 3.5 blinds. Pads does have a straight draw to the 8, but I don't think we care about that too much. Pads is out of there. Get a call by the pair and straight draw. King on the turn. Turn is an interesting spot for Calvin. Do we bet or check? Queen jack gets there. Any king gets there, obviously. I feel like a check. 6 on the river, so Pero makes their straight. Calvin's flush draw misses. Sliver of showdown value. Sees an 8 blind bet. Pero says, I've got the 8, yo. Any 8 makes a straight. Calvin, let's go the pair of 10s. Nicely done. Blinds go up. 52 blinds. Ace 4 O. Pero comes in for the open. King queen for pads. DMT with ace 3 suited in the big blind. Pads will call the small. DMT. I think we call. Could just jam in our 6 blinds as well. Kind of want to see the jam because I don't know what pads does if Pero calls. Anyways, DMT calls pre-flop. Queen 5-5 flop. Top pair for pads. Backdoor straight flush draw for DMT. Pero blocks that with the 4 clubs. Bum. Flop will check around the ace high for Pero. Doesn't want to put in a little bet there on the drive board. Top pair for pads. Leads out 2.3 blinds. Ace high for DMT's gone. Ace 4 for Pero. Might lean towards a fold here. No real reason to call. There's a lot of draws though. King Jack, Jack 9 are open-ended hearts. Ace high does find the call. Jack of hearts on the river. Pero says, fuck it, we'll give him 2 blinds. I want to see the river card. Pretty nasty one. Any jack obviously makes a pair. Ace king. Pero could go for a bluff somehow. Says nope. We'll show down the ace high and lose. King queen for Calvin. They open it up. 4 blinds for DMT as they have to give half a blind away. 5-4. Whoa, 10-3 suited Pasili 3 bets. 5.4 blinds. What? 10-3 suited. What's Pasili getting up to? Calvin, I don't even know what to do against this. Do we fold? No, we're gonna call 10-6-5 flop. 2 clubs for Pasili. They're a fucking robot just knowing what the flop's gonna be. Top pair with a flush draw. 3 betting 10-3 suited pre-flop. They know they folded 3 of a kind to 3 of a kind. Chop pot. Not too long ago. Pasili bets 4.2 blinds. Calvin does have backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, 2 overcards. But man, this is pretty unfair. If Calvin check raises, they're in real trouble. 9.5 blinds to go. Bad news. If I'm Pasili, I just jam, get my equity in, but it would be really cool to see a turn card. Calvin faces a 3 bet on the flop and they have to fold big pot for Pasili first place position after a silly 3 bet pre-flop. Works out wonderfully. 53 blinds. Pasili gonna take a hand off. 9-5 suited for DMT is got 4 blinds. They're folding the button, of course. 8-7 is going to jam the small. Pero will take it down pre. 8-6 suited. DMT folds. Calvin in the small with 9-6 suited. 8-10 for Pasili suited as well. We get a limp and a decision for Pasili. No, we get a 3 blind open size by Calvin off the 16.5 blind stack. Pasili calls. Queen 2 flop. No spade, no club. 6.6 blinds in the middle. Calvin can bet really small here. No, they check. Bad news. 10 high for Pasili. Hopefully they check. Give Calvin a chance to take a stab at the pot here and scoop it. Nah, Vasily will do the betting. 1.4 blinds, and that should work. Imagine Kelvin finds a check raise again, though. There's a check raise to 3.7 blinds. Holy fuck, Kelvin. 9 high. Gonna get 10 high off the pot unless somehow Vasily 3-bets. They call 10 high! Vasily calls 10 high, queen on the turn. What the fuck is going on here? Kelvin checks. 14 blinds in the middle. Vasily doesn't want to show down 10 high. Do we bet 10%? 3 blinds. I'll still get the job done. Kelvin's gone. Vasily putting on a absolute show. Or I don't know. Getting lucky with the 10-3 suited, but that 8-10 suited, what a play. Hanging in there. Knows Kelvin's full of it. Interesting happening for Vasily is King 7 is going to yoink it in. 1k bounty for DMT on their head. King 9 will call for Pero. Ace 4 for Kelvin, gonna fold. Queen 6 will call the small. Jack 6 for pads in the big blind. 2.8 to call. They're out of there. 7-4-3 flop. Top pair for DMT. Backdoor flush draw for him. Jack on the turn is clean. Vasily looking for a 5 or queen. Pero. What are you even drawing to, a 9? 3 of hearts on the river. Goes check, check, and DMT survives. 13 blinds. Bad news for Kelvin, who's sitting there with 9.5. Vasily just scooped most of his chips there. Wow, what a happening. What a happening. Vasily floats the check raise 10 high. Paired board with a flush draw out there. He's got none of it. I guess a backdoor straight draw, but holy moly. King 3 suited versus King 2 suited. Ace Jack 9 flop. 6 1/3 blinds in the middle. Goes check, check. Did we get a raise from Pero, a call on the button? Ace high board goes check, check. 10 on the turn. We both got a straight draw to the queen. Vasily bets 7 blinds over the pot and they'll take it down. Nicely done. Sort of interesting play by Vasily. It's working out wonderfully here. 60 blinds, first place position. Got owned, but the 3 of a kind fold. But other than that, it's been some pretty good play. That 9-8-0 call earlier too for Centaurus' Kings. That was speculative. Ace 10 for DMT, might yoink it in. And do we get a call here? 1k bounty on the line. Pero with Queen Jack does find it 41%. Needs some help here. Queen or Jack. Finds the Queen of Spades on the river. 24 blinds and a 1k bounty, and we lose DMT. 4 players remain. 6s for pads. King Queen suited for Pero. Vasily in the big with a couple of ducks. Kelvin the short stack with 9 blinds. 7-4-0. Half a blind to call. Half a blind to call. Gets out of there. Free for Vasily to see a flop here with the ducks, and they'll bump it up to 8.8 blinds. Pad somehow jams. That would be some pretty cool shit. Six hits the muck. Nice play by the deuces, but King Queen will call. Ace King 7 flop. 2 hearts for Pero. Hopefully Vasily doesn't pull the trigger on a big bluff here. They bet about 4 blinds into 20. Pero goes nowhere. Quickly calls 4 of clubs on the turn. Very unlikely Vasily gets saved here. They check it on over. Good shit. PKO gives him a free river. 9 of clubs. Straight draws miss. Backdoor flush gets there. Vasily checks. But PKO, I just show down my pair of kings. 27 blinds is a big pot. PKO bets 8. Going for some thin value here. It's kind of cool to see. Imagine Vasily finds the call, puts him on like a queen, jack, jack 10. Vasily's deep in the tank now. Got about 60 seconds to think this one through. It is a big pot here. 8 into 43. Vasily gets out of there. Nicely done. Cool thin value bet on the river. King 4 suited will open it up. Vasily with an ace in the small. I don't think we call. A 3 bet would be cool. Nah, fold comes in. Jack 3 suited for pads in the big blind. Might be in chip preservation mode. Nah, says we'll go to the flop. King, queen 7. 1 spade for both players. PKO with top pair in position will bet 1.6 and take the pot down. Or does pads come along to the turn with backdoor draws? Nope. Blinds go up. Kelvin at 7.5 blinds. Queen 8 suited. Kelvin will think about it. They jam 7.5. King Jack suited for pads in the small blind. Looks like a play here. Do we just jam it all in? That we do. Heads up pot. 8 on the flop. Another 8 on the turn. Kelvin will win this one. 16 blind slide their way. Jack on the river don't matter, of course. 7-7 for pads. 24 blinds will open it up. Big bounty on their head. $3,800. Pads opens. King 7 for Kelvin in the big blind. They're in the tank here. Hopefully they don't jam. Kelvin, uh-oh. Oh, we do land on the call. Jack 2 flop. Backdoor hearts for Kelvin. 1 overcard. Not too much to do. Not too much that makes you want to see a turn card. Pads bets a blind and takes the pot down. That took longer than it needed to. Ace 5 suited for Kelvin. Hopefully jams over the open. Queen 8 for PKO finds it from the button. 14 blinds. Kelvin yoinks him in. 2K bounty on the line. We'll see if PKO just starts to clean up shop. Has about 40% here. 12 to call into a pot of 29.5. Looking for a queen or 8. No, we don't get it. Ace high holds up. Jack 5 for Kelvin. 30 blinds back in the game now. Ace 9 for Vasily. From the small blind it folds to him. Doopity doo. Pads with 8-10 in the big blind. 26 blinds in total. Vasily gonna play this. Probably raise. Pads probably calls. Three blinds is the size. Pads finds the call. King 7-4 flop. Basili bets 2.2. Pads finds the fold. Seven, 6. Basili on the button this time. Could open it up. Nope. And Pero gets a walk. Ace 3 for Basili. Nope. King 8 for pads. On the button, opens it up 2.4 blinds. Kelvin in the big with King 4-0. A 3-bet would be cool. What do we make it? Like 6.8? Nope. Just gonna fold. Pads gets the raise through pre. King for Basili in the big blind. Not too much doing. Folds to Kelvin with Queen 5-0. And you limp it in. Basili raises to 3 blinds and takes it down pre. And then they get 10-10. A7 suited for Pero will open it up. 10-10 for Basili. Three bets to 7.6. Don't jam, Pero. Call could always come in about 5.5 to call. Into 16, almost 17 blinds. Pero doesn't love the spot. They go in the tank and find the fold. Oh, and then Pero gets 10s. Basili now in first place on the button with Queen 9-0 could open. That they do. Boo 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 boo. 7-2 suited. Pads finds the fold. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. 10-10 is thinking things through and 3 bets to 8 blinds. Basili finds the call. King 7-6 flop. Interesting, yo. Basili bets 4 blinds. That's Pero, sorry. Pero with the 10s and he gets another call. Queen high with the backdoor straight draw. Or 2 or 3 in there. Gets a call. 7 on the turn. Pero checks. 11.5 blinds by Basili. Tough spot for 10-10. Basili running the show. Nah, Pero calls 5 on the river. Does Basili go for the big old bluff here? Spades complete. 8-9 makes a straight. Pero with 20 blinds behind. 48 in the middle. Basili with the Queen of Spades. 9 of hearts. Blocking some draws that got there. Shows it down. Pero shows him the 10-10. A7. Or that's Ace 9, sorry. Ace 9 for Pero. Suited. King 9 for pads. We'll open it up large. 2.4 blinds. 26 blinds effective. Pero will rip it all in and take it down pre. Get a little break. Do 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 do. King 7 suited for Pero. They open it on up. Vasily with ace-5 in the big blind. They play call, king jack 3 flop. All good news for Pero. Vasily with that ace high, backdoor straight draws. Checks it on over. Pero bets 1.6. Vasily thinking about coming along to the turn. Says, no sirree, I can't afford it now. 6-4, Pero's right back in there. Ace-8 suited for Kelvin. 25 blinds. Weird spot, second place position. They come in for a 3-bet. No, that's a call. What the fuck? I don't know why I thought my eyes saw a 3-bet. And quickly it changed to a call. But here we are now. 9-10 for Pats will come along to the flop. And it's a fucking straight, yo. King Queen 9 or King Queen Jack. Holy shit. Getting frustrated with myself. Ace-8 for Calvin blocking the nuts. The old Ace-10. 7 blinds in the middle. Doesn't have a great reason to bet. But I'm trying to talk it up, and we do get a little C. That's not a C bet. It is a bet, however. 1.8 blinds into 7.3. Pads with the second nuts. Thinking check raise here. They jam it all in for 18, and the bet will get through. Vasily with king queen suited. Looks like a raise. Pero in the big. 8-10. Oh, looks like a call. Oh. Whoopsie. 8-10 for Pero in the big blind. Rips it all in and a quick call. 8 on the flop, and it's a heart draw too. King or queen, that's a non-heart. We get the heart complete. Boppity boo. It's a nice big bounty. About $2,200 slides over to Pero with the big stack. 92 blinds as Kelvin gets a walk with ace queen. King 6 will open it up. King 6 will open it up. Pads with 2-3 in the big is gonna let that go. Right? Yeah. Four for pads. Kelvin with 7-5 suited on the button. Gonna fold. 8-10 suited for Pero in the big blind. Pads rips. About a 4K bounty on Pads heads, just a little bit less. Pero will fold the suited connected hand. 5-5. Pero will yoink from the small and take it down pre. No, we raised to 3 blinds. Job still gets done. Blinds go up. Jack 7 gonna open it up. King 10 for Kelvin. Kelvin calls from the small. Queen 3 for pads in the big. Gonna fold, and we get an ace 10 8 flop. Interesting, so Pero's got the straight draw to the 9. Kelvin with middle pair with a good kicker. Best kicker. Flop goes check check 9 on the turn. Pero makes their straight. Queen Jack is the nuts, and there's a diamond draw. Kelvin leads out 3 blinds with the pair of 10s. Bad timing here. Pero calls another 9 on the river. 11.5 blinds in the middle. Kelvin checks. Pero jams. Does Kelvin just let it go? King 10-0. Do get the jam, of course. Does 6, Kelvin, hero call, not today. Queen 10, 12 blinds for Kelvin is a weird spot. They come in from the min open. Might get this through pretty. Queen 2 says no siree. Ace 4, 3 flop. Straight draw to the 5 for Pero. Both players with queen high. Kelvin bets 1.22. Get a swift check raise, a min check raise, 2.44. Straight draw for Pero, says fuck you. And Kelvin does let go of the better queen high. Queen 9-0 for pads, 21 blinds. Doopity doo on the button. Got the short stack in the big blind. We don't want to double him up, so if he jams on us, we'll probably call, but we don't want to double him up. Pero with Jack 4-0 will jam and get it on through. Queen 4, Pero rips and takes it down pre. That's not a 4. King 3 gets a walk for Pero. My eyes are starting to go. 8, 5 rips it in to ace queen. Kelvin still hasn't called, finds it. We're looking for some 5s and 8s. We find a bunch of them. 2 5s out there, 14 blinds, 2k bounty. Pero scoops another one. 19 more blinds to collect. Pads is hanging in there. 5, 6 gets to see a flop. Flops quite well. 2 pairs in fact. 8, 6, 5 flop. Pero's open-ended with the backdoor flush draw. They bet 1 blind. They bet 1 blind and get check raised to 5.5. Quick call. 5 on the turn is a boat for pads. Hopefully they just check it over, right? Just check. Now you bet 3 more blinds. Gets called. 4 on the river. Pero's gonna double up pads here. Straight versus boat. Pero thinks the game's over. He knows he loses the boats, but whatever. Pads goes in the tank, rips it in. Quick call. 38 blinds now for pads to 84. Still has quite a bit of work to do, but pretty well has the inverse of Pero's chip stack. Kind of cool to see. That really doesn't matter though. 8-7. Flopping a middle pair of 8s. Ace high for Pero. Backdoor straight draw. Sees a free 4 on the turn. Pero has equity. Ace or 2 dealer. Ace or 2. Pads bets 3 blinds. 9 on the river. 10.5 in the middle. Pads will scoop another pot here. Queen Jack 6-7. Jack 7. All get there is straights. Pads bet 7.5 blinds. Nice thin value bet with the pair of 8s. That's got to be a value bet, right? I don't think we're bluffing. Jack 4 suited will open for Pero. 10-10 for pads in the big blind. Gonna size up a 3 bet. 8. 7.5. 11. That's a big 3 bet, and the 3 bet gets through. 6-10 suited for pads. Open it up, or are we limping it in? Limping it in, and we're moving along. King 2 for Pero. Not a great holding. Checks it on back. 7-7-6 flop. All pads so far. All pads turning. Good card, 5 of clubs. Undercard to your pair of 6s. Diamonds don't get there. Pads bets over the pot slightly. 2.5 into 2.25. Pero with king highs out of there. Queen 5 suited for pads. Queen 5 suited. 10-6-0 for Pero. Gonna open it up from the button. Pads will call 8-8-2 flop. Pero bets a blind. And the queen high hits the muck. Ace 7 for pads, ace 9 for pero. We get a limp and a raise and a call, and we're off to the flop. Four blinds is the size by pero. King 9-6 flop. Both players with backdoor hearts. Pero with a pair. Pads with a backdoor straight draw. A few of them, I suppose. Pero with middle pair. Bets 2.5. Pads quickly calls 5 of hearts on the turn here. Straight draw to the 8. Both players with a heart draw. 13 blinds in the middle. Will pads pull the trigger? 8.6 blinds to go. Quick call, 9 on the sorry, that's a king. King on the river pairs the board. Does pads pull the trigger? Blocking the straight, 8-7 and the hearts. Oof, and I think pero has a hero calling hand. Oh, pads does show it down. Ace high, no good. Ace 8 for pads. Jack 6 for pero. We get an open and a call or raise. Maybe a raise because it's a heads up game. We don't really want to face the 4-bet all in. Pads will play call. 6-5-2 flop. Top pair for pero. 2 overs for pads, a backdoor straight draw, or 3 in there. Pads is seeing a turn card, about a half pot size bet, even more than that. Another 6 on the turn will lock up the board for pero. Pads checks over the ace high. And guess what? Ace high, no good. Ace high, no good. 3 of a kind will bet large, 5.7. Sizes up the river jam. Nice fold by pads. Nice fold. 8 jack will limp it in. Jack 4 will check it back. Ace king 3 flop. Flop goes check bet fold, and we're moving along. Excuse me. 7-4 limps pads with ace king. Ace king will raise to 6 blinds, looking to get it in. Pero with the suited connected hand folds. Ace 8 for pads, 8-3 for pero. Raise and take it down pre. Yep. Just took a while to get there. King, queen for pero. Queen 9 for pads. Got a raise and a call. 9-9-2 flop. All pads. I suppose Jack 10 would give pero the best hand. And there's a backdoor boat draw. Pero bets a blind. Quick call by the 3 of a kind. 10 on the turn. So pero looking for the jack. Any jack will do. Ace of hearts. Not quite what we're looking for. If I'm pero, I just show this down. Got a sliver of showdown at value. Pads might bet small to induce. Might bet over the pot. Just try to get a hero call. They bet all in even. 25 blinds into 6.4. And the bet gets through. Ace queen pads opens. 9-10 quickly calls. Ace 10 5 flop. Backdoor clubs, backdoor straight for pads to go along with top pair. Good. Kicker bets 2.5. Paro. Middle pair, much less going on. Sees a king on the turn. $9.6 in the middle. Pads bet 7.5. Bet should get through here. Big juicy bet, sizes up the river jam by quite a bit. That 9 of diamonds does not help you. Paro lets it go. Blinds go up. Pads after winning a pot at 29 blinds. Jack 2-0. Paro, King 9-0. Forcing pads to see a flop, limps it in. Jack 2 does make pair status. Paro with the straight draw to the 10. Ace of clubs on the turn. Pads with the flush draw. King or 10, that's a non-club. Paro says maybe a bet gets through. 1 blind is the size. Not going to work on the turn. 3 on the river. Pads checks. Paro checks and pads wins a small one. 4-2 for pads. They're just going to let that go. 10-7 for Paro. Well, open. 8-10 for pads in the big blind. King 7-6 flop. Middle pair for Paro. They bet small. Quarter pot-ish. Get check raised by the straight draw. Pads makes it about 5 blinds to go. Quick call. 3 on the turn. Pads is in a pickle looking for a 9 or 8. 14 blinds in the middle. They check it over. Who knows what to do here? Paro will bet 3.5. And pads does just let it go. Ace 3 pads limps. Jack 10 for Paro checks it back. King 7-2 flop. Pads bets a blind. We get a quick call. 5 on the turn. Pads with the straight draw. The best of it with ace high. We'll take it to the river for free. 7 of hearts bears the board. Flush draw misses. Paro bets 2.6. Looks like a value bet. Ace high for pads. King 7-2 flop. No draws out there. This pad still find the hero call. And all the way in the tank here. Has 70 more seconds to go. Finds the call. Good shit. 9.5 blind slide their way. Paro says nice hand. Pads swiftly says thanks. King 10 was here. King 9-2 flop. Queen 8 for Paro. Backdoor draws. Only straight draw. Jack 10. Get a 7 on the turn. That's no help for Paro. Pads bets 4.5 over the pot. Takes it down. And Paro says bad size. That is funny. Me? Okay. Oh, me, says Paro. I thought he was shitting on pads' size. That would have been funny. A7 facing a lamp. Pad says don't be hard on yourself. You played amazing. Good shit. Love to see it. 9-3 will limp it on in. Pads with the queen and the 5. Six, 6, 4 flop. Paro bets 1 blind. Queen 5 will float 4 on the turn. No draws for nobody, no pairs. Free river is a 6 and we both make a boat. We both got a boat and Pads jams it in. Quick call by Peril and we chop chop. Nothing doing there. 3-7 gets a walk even. For and a king. Peril on the button. 10-7 for Pads. We get an open. Ten-7 calls, ace-6, 3 flop, 2 hearts for both players. Pads does have a few backdoor straight draws. They're just gonna let that go though. 25 blinds to 72. Pads with jack-6 on the button. The smaller stack limps it on in. Queen-6 checks it back. King, queen, 8 flop. Pads with nothing doing, checks it on back and a deuce on the turn. Peril bets 1.4 and takes the pot down. Pads thinking about a very wide hero call. Jack 6-0 folds. Jack 5. Peril with this big ass stack. I'm gonna raise it on up. 8-6 for Pads in the big blind. We see an ace-jack 9 flop, not quite what Pads is looking for. We got 2 hearts out there, Pads without a heart. Pair of jacks, Peril bets small and takes it down. Jack 9, Pads will limp. 8-10 for Peril in the big, checks it on back. 7-6-4 flop. Gutter to the 5 with another gutter to the 9. Paris got a double gutter. They bet over the pot 3.35 to 2.25 and Jack high hits the muck. Ace 9 versus Jacks. We get an open and a jam and a call and a big pot. Or does Pads call pre? No, we get the jam. 21 blinds. Quick call by the Jakes. Looking for that ace dealer. No diamonds out there. No straight draw. No nothing. No ace. Peril gets the victory. Very well done. Pads is Gonzo Alonso in second place. Anyways, that's the end of the show. Very nicely done by Peril. We'll see where they started this bad boy off at. 18 blinds. One of the shorties, as we can see. 4th last place. But yeah, that's the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you got any suggestions on making the show any better, I don't fucking know what to do. Yeah, throw them down in the comments. Alrighty, adios amigos.